there, welcome to Jackie Talks Horror. I'm Jackie, and today I'm doing a spoiler-free review of 28 Years Later from July this year, 2025. This movie is a follow-up from 28 Days Later from 2002 and 28 Weeks Later from 2007, and was so long in the making they had to change the name to be more appropriate for the time jump. Just a heads up, I'll be using images from IMDb and the trailer throughout this video. I've also popped a link to the trailer down in the description below in case you want to check it out for yourself. This film also kicks off a new trilogy with the next instalment, 28 Years Later The Bone Temple, hitting cinemas on January the 16th, 2026, exactly 28 weeks after 28 Years Later. That sequel was filmed back to back with this one to ensure continuity and to keep production costs down. So, after the 18-year wait for a sequel and the success of the earlier movies, how did it compare to them, and was it worth the wait? I can tell you I laughed out loud and my eyes were watery at points during the film. So, let's start with the characters. First, there's Isla, played by Jodie Comer, Spike's mother and Jamie's wife. Isla comes across brilliantly from the beginning. She's got a sharp tongue, uses a lot of strong language, and is instantly likeable, and has a more sympathetic attitude about Spike and the infected than her husband. Comer is absolutely standout in this role, especially when interacting with Spike, shifting the movie's tone from survival horror to human connection in those scenes. Next up is Jamie, played by Aaron Taylor-Johnson. He's Spike's father and Isla's husband. He starts off as someone you can't help but warm to, but the longer you're around him, the more cracks start to show in that friendly exterior. Taylor-Johnson brings depth to Jamie, a survivalist father weighed down by past trauma, trying to guide his son while confronting his own failings. Next up is Spike, played by Alfie Williams. He is our lead, and this is no mean feat for a lad in his first leading role, as he held his own with scenes with Comer, Fiennes and Taylor-Johnson. I wasn't sure about him in the beginning, but he soon won me over. He plays Spike with enough heart and authenticity, which allows you to go on his compelling and emotionally raw journey with him. And last up is Dr. Kelson, played by Ralph Fiennes. Despite his situation, he seems a very level-headed, if only a little eccentric, person. I liked this character and thought he seemed to bring some fun amongst the chaos, and he definitely has some of the film's more notable scenes. As usual, Fiennes absolutely nailed the character, whilst playing him with a quiet menace and managing to bring his human side out. Next, let's see how the plot unfolds and how the pacing keeps you on your toes. So the IMDb plot synopsis reads, a group of survivors of the rage virus live on a small island. When one of the group leaves the island on a mission into the mainland, he discovers secrets, wonders, and horrors that have mutated not only the infected, but other survivors. I didn't feel the opening scene pulled you in emotionally in the same way 28 Weeks Later did, but the film makes up for that through its main characters later. At just under 2 hours long, the first half delivers the most tension, with the second half shifting focus towards the more emotional core of the story. As far as the main storyline goes, it is pretty straightforward, but it works, and seems to lean on questions about how society has developed after the virus, what going back to basics means, and how a new worldview might be the only way to survive. Despite the tense moments, the film includes some really fun and light-hearted moments that break up the tension nicely. Unfortunately, some of the editing cuts were a bit erratic, and actually pulled me out of the story at times. While they didn't completely ruin the experience, these moments broke the flow and made it harder to stay fully immersed in the story. The story and world building spent a lot of time exploring the mainland, giving a broader sense of the post-apocalyptical society, and there are many set-up moments designed to pay off later in the trilogy, creating anticipation for the next films. Let's check out next how the filmmakers actually brought this world to life, the choices behind the camera, and the production details that make it feel so real. So 28 Years Later brought the core team from 28 Days Later back together. Director Danny Boyle, writer Alex Garland, and director of photography Anthony Dodmantle. Boyle and Dodmantle recorded large portions of the film using their iPhone 15 Pro Max, rigged with professional lenses and housed in aluminium cages for stability and versatility. This unconventional setup enabled agile filming in remote locations like Northumberland while maintaining high cinematic quality. The film introduces a lot of new concepts and lore surrounding the infected and the rage virus, which left me eager to see how the next two films would build on them. It's not surprising, given that we've leapt 28 years into the virus's evolution. Both the infected and the survivors have had to adapt to their new normal way of life in fascinating ways, and along the way we encounter new and more dangerous adaptive variants that push the tension to new heights. The production nailed the sense of life in a post-apocalyptical world. Set design, costumes and locations all show a society pared back to basics, with many things threadbare or in need of repair. There were beautiful long-shot views that showed the horizon, so you would see there were no infected immediately nearby, but that only added tension, as you end up feeling they could appear at any moment. There were also some stunning scenes with beautiful settings set against gruesome moments, highlighting the contrast between the world's beauty and its dangers. And the film uses vibrant set colours cleverly. Some scenes are dominated by green forest tones, others by reds to create atmosphere and emotional impact. Okay, so it's time to break down my ratings. For cinematography and soundtrack, this film gets 4.5 out of 5. Danny Boyle's visuals are as usual visionary, with epic landscapes and post-apocalyptic isolation captured perfectly. The soundtrack hits the right notes too, from haunting tension to upbeat fun tracks that emotional depth and break the intensity at just the right moments. For visual effects and gore, this film gets 4.5 out of 5. The practical effects are brutal and visceral. Everything from the infected to the action scenes feels real and intense. Clever makeup, prosthetics and camera work make the horror hit hard without ever going over the top. Each encounter keeps you on edge. For characters, this film gets 4.5 out of 5. Every actor brings their A-game, and Jodie Comer as Isla is a standout. But the ensemble works well together, making the stakes feel real and keeping you invested in their struggles and choices. For enjoyment and rewatch value, this film gets 3.5 out of 5. The film delivers some truly awesome chase scenes that keep you on the edge of your seat. However, a few odd editing choices and confusing character decisions pulled me out of the experience, which means I'm unlikely to rewatch it often. For personal score, this is a 3.5 out of 5 star film. This was a 4.5 star film right up until the ending, but it was that bad I had to drop it a full star. I had heard it was divisive, and it sure was, but I really didn't like it, and the rest of the film was so good. I am sure there'll be a lot that love the ending, and if that is you, then I'm glad you got something out of it that I didn't. So that's all for this review of 28 Years Later. If you enjoyed the first two, then odds are you will like the majority of this film, but this is going to be easily the most divisive film in the franchise, for the 3 so far anyway. It is totally different from the first two, and if you're looking for a straightforward zombie film, I don't think this one's for you. Have you seen 28 Days Later? How does it rate against the first two for you? Thanks so much for watching. Do leave your comments down below, but remember to be respectful, and remember this is only my opinion of this film. It'd be a boring old world if we all like the same things. If you like this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe and click that bell so you don't miss what's coming next on this channel. This is Jackie signing off. Take care and see you next time.